to help survivors find export markets and aid in the rebuilding process. Clinton is the United Nations Special Envoy for Tsunami Recovery.
Well, 2 local doctors are back in the United States after a life-changing trip to Sri Lanka. It has been 5 months since the devastating tsunami wiped out lives and property. 40,000 in Sri Lanka were killed, but millions more survived, left homeless and suffering from a variety of painful problems. Tonight, those doctors share their experiences and never-before-seen video of the destruction.
There's a doctor who was perhaps maybe a mile inland, and he was just in his clinic, taking care of his patients. And was totally unaware of what was happening. And his first indication of something happening was when just the water just kind of forced his door open and just washed a lot of dead babies into his office.
Dr. Bart Rademaker's diary is full of heartbreaking stories, detailing the handprint left behind after a tidal wave slammed Sri Lanka. The doctor and 3 colleagues chose to visit the roads less traveled, mostly rebel areas that received little of the billions of dollars in relief money.
On the northern east coast is a small town called Malativo.
Standing next to the orphanage that was totally wiped out by the tsunami. Only 52 of the some 130 children that were here actually survived.
These are some of the rooms the children were in when the tsunami struck.
Those inside, binding these books, survived.
And when the first wave hit, basically all those kids that were playing just lost their lives. You just saw all the debris in the books and the shoes and the dolls, there, and it just really brought it home as to what happened.
And this is the bottom.
The doctors did not travel thousands of miles just to re-walk the road worn by this disaster, but rather to help rebuild the lives of these suffering survivors.
That's what it's all about. Right on.
We brought a lot of medical supplies, especially vitamins. These orphans obviously very deprived in many different ways.
Up the coast and inland near the town of Kilinochie.
And we went to non-government where basically no resources went.
About 6 doctors there serve a population of 200,000.
And when you look at the hospitals there, when you look at the wards, it's just appalling. It's dirty. You have cockroaches running all over the place. It's not sterile at all. One of the commitments that we developed as we were leaving was to totally revamp this one hospital.
Further north is the town of Jaffna, already scarred by decades of civil unrest. The doctors scrubbed in there for surgery.
One lady, which we'll see, she had severe burns to the upper chest, a lot of pain. Survival rate of skin grafts is not that great. And so I basically was teaching some of the surgeons there. My concerns were that I didn't have all the right surgical instruments, didn't have the post-operative support.
How did this change you as a doctor?
One thing it taught me directly is much greater flexibility, because we deal with such little resources there. You just have to be very inventive and still get the job done. It made me definitely more appreciative of things. Of what we have.
This process marked the bodies that we recovered.
Nowhere was that more apparent than this makeshift graveyard near the coast. 75 crosses, entire families lost.
It's kind of distressing. It really, puts into perspective how lives are quickly lost by such an event. It's something that unless you experience it yourself, this is the closest thing to realize, and it's very impactful.
Dr. Rademaker and 3 other surgeons are planning on going back to Sri Lanka in August. They plan to deliver more medicines and treatments to those ignored by most aid agencies. If you'd like to get involved, log on to our website at abcactionnews.com. Great folks.
Well, it is. It's inspirational to think that a doctor who could just do fine doing plastic surgery here in the Tampa Bay area takes time out, lost business to go help people that are in such dire need.
And they'll be back in August, and hopefully we'll go with them.
Good for them.
Dennis has a forecast for your Memorial Day weekend, and he is coming up.
Then at 5:48.